Hi, Eric Linask with TMC. We're here at Cloud Expo, and I'm talking this morning with Stephen Zeller from LogicWorks. Stephen, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So we're here on the third day of Cloud Expo. A lot of exciting conversation going on. What are you hearing? What are your customers coming to you for these days?
I think what's exciting right now is that IT is just such a generic field. We're really starting to see real live people benefiting from this stuff. In our case, a lot of that's in healthcare. So we're seeing patients around the country being able to exchange records. We're seeing companies be able to use analytics in a real concrete business way. So that's very exciting. It's good to see IT in practice like that. Our customers are being challenged with basically how to move workloads and how to move secure information around between their data centers and the cloud. That's really the big focus this year. So how to set up hybrids, how to manage security and compliance across a wide range of different resources. That's basically the focus right now.
So how are you helping them meet those needs?
So what we do is we have technology that allows them to set up a hybrid between their own data center, our private clouds, and also public clouds like AWS. It gives them a single pane of glass where they can look at all of their different applications, move them to where the resources are appropriate, and also have a security and compliance view across all of them, so they can manage things like HIPAA requirements for healthcare, PCI for credit card transactions, or SOX or various other corporate compliance goals. So they can really have one sort of main console by which they can move workloads from different locations. They can set up disaster recovery for their applications around the country, and they can look at security and compliance and governance across the board.
I'm sensing a trend in terms of an increase in adoption and interest in hybrid cloud environments. Why is that the case?
Well, I mean, obviously, most large companies have made significant investments in infrastructure already. They're not just going to scrap that. There are certain applications they're always going to want close to home, right? Things that are very low latency, things that are very critical to their business that they might not want to share with any kind of public resource. But there's all these benefits to the cloud: time to production, flexibility, cost savings. How do you make those two things fit together, right? So that's where hybrid cloud comes in. It's only natural. They want to use both. They want to have the flexibility to sort of manage both in a convenient way. It's really that simple.
Is there still a security concern? Is that why some of that information in the application still has to stay on premises?
I think less so. I think people are pretty confident in the security of the cloud these days, but I think it's really more a practical matter. So if you are going to your doctor, you don't want your cardiology report to be downloading from somewhere, right? You want that maybe your archive, disaster recovery, other kinds of tools. You want to be able to send that record to a different hospital, but there's some things you want right there, no matter if the cable connection goes out or whatever it is. There are certain things that are sort of critical that you want there. So that's really what we're seeing. Or if you're a media company maybe and you're having people edit video and do really sort of high intense, low latency things, or if you're a trader and you want to be 2 milliseconds from your bank, things like that are still probably best served physically in the same location.
What are the challenges when trying to manage hybrid cloud environments?
There's really a lot of challenges. I mean, I think mostly it's easy to set up the hybrid. It's not as easy for an application to just pop up in another place and work, okay? It has to be compatible, there have to be appropriate resources, all of the, I don't want to get too technical, but all of the network settings associated with it, if people are connecting to it with a VPN, if it's talking to a database, if it's set up in a secure VLAN somewhere, all that information has to move with it gracefully. So that's the next step. It's very easy for that application to pop up, but if it pops up in another data center and none of its neighbors and none of its settings are there, it's not going to know what to do, right? So we're trying to embed more and more of that information at the virtual level so that a machine can move and take with it things like security, its governance, like its operating system and its settings and its updates, its relation to other things in the network. So that's the next wave of technology you're going to see.
Should we be concerned that our data up in the cloud or our data anywhere in data centers for that matter is being looked at by the federal government?
Sure. Are you concerned about that personally? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not really a government three-letter agency expert. I assume everything's being looked at by everyone. I think the comfort level psychologically changed when people started using things like Chase and Salesforce. So like on a personal level, your money's already on the internet. From a company perspective, your most sensitive information about your clients is on the internet. Once that happened, I think people got over the psychological hurdle. I think practically, there's a little difference if it's in your data center. Your data center is already online. Somebody could be looking at it there. It's in the cloud. It's online. I think it was more of a psychological hurdle for people to get over.
So these latest reports shouldn't have any impact on cloud adoption.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I think people are getting way more serious about security, and that's a good thing. And I think that all the news helps people to focus on that. It's not just a checkbox anymore; it's a real life situation. And so, I think actually cloud providers have been more attuned to that than internal resources from the beginning, because it's our job. So I think people are starting to realize that just having my server in my closet at arm's reach doesn't mean it's more secure than trusting my data to a company that does this for a living. So I think that's a trend. People are realizing that. But I think all across the board, whether it's internal or in the cloud, people are they're getting a lot more serious about it, and that's a good thing.
Thanks, Stephen. I'm Eric Lanask with TMC here at Cloud Expo. Follow all of our Cloud Expo coverage in the TMC Video Newsroom.